Hey, 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 how are you, beloved of God? I hope by the grace of Almighty God you are doing wonderful. It's Felicia Nyano here. It's been a very long time since I speak to you through the video, but I'm hoping by the grace of God, your loved ones, everybody that you love and care about is doing wonderful. Yeah, it's February. I know I didn't wish you Happy New Year, but I'm hoping by the Almighty God and His help, your new year began good and it's still going well with you. I have no idea what you are facing. There are people that may not, begin this new year of 2025 the way they expected. But as long that you are alive, well and kicking, I believe a better days ahead. We only have to hope for the best. We only have to keep positive attitude and just hope for the positive things to come by. But remember, life is not the way we plan it, and we don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Only God who knows what is the end of man before even our begins. So everything else we commit it to the hands of the Lord, and we do our best. We do our best and we leave the rest into the Lord. Let's get along with one another. Be slow and be quick. Be slow to anger and don't be quick to, respond, especially when you are upset, when you are angry. Take your time, take a deep breath. And let me share this story with you. Me talking about be slow to get angry. A few months ago, I have a loved ones who are not feeling well. So a few months ago, I went to a hospital to see that person, and the check-in, the lobby where you check in, they have their own setup where you can just type it in. It will ask you where you're there for, if you're there to see a family member, you are whatever you are there for. If you are a worker from another facility, if you're a nurse or whatever, you are competing somewhere. You have this device there. We all know that nowadays this technology thing, you had to do a lot on your own. I remember back in the days when you used to go to doctor's office, they would give you a paper just for you to answer the questions and the surveys and stuff like that, and also your own, like, a little exam that you can just put it out for them to put in the screen. Nowadays you go there, they handle to you a tablet, and that is where you answer your question from. So we all know how, these technology things have gone ahead. But let me get back to the thing that I was talking about. So I went to the hospital. I put my information in, but even though if you put your information in, you still have to go to the other side where people are there to assist you. They'll be the one to print your visitor label for you. So after I put everything in, everything that asks you, your name, the person, who you are to, and why you there, whatever. And then you go the other side. So I went the other side, and there are people, which is nothing wrong with it, because, hey, I'm not one of those smartest people, so I do that all the time. So when you tell them your name, you have to spell for them some, first and last name. And even if it's a phone number, you have to read all that date of birth, whatever. So there are days where there's a lot of people around. You don't want to feel like, oh, you want to do all that, especially when the person, you had to, like, raise your voice a little bit higher for them to hear you. You just hand it over your ID, which is to have all your information in it, and then they don't have to ask you one at a time. They can put it next to them and begin to type the information from there. So I went that part, and there was a gentleman who assisted me. He asked my name, my first and last name. I just handed over my my ID, because I didn't want to because I go there almost like probably 5 days a week, I believe. And it was, the same routine. So I just handed over my thing. And after I finished checked in, there was a two gentlemen on the other side. They were like, I could say they're teenager, but like probably, their 20s or whatever. those two young men sat on the other side, their face facing down because it's a bigger, login place. And I heard one of them telling the other guy with the upset voice, and he say, well, what's wrong with these people when you ask them to tell you your name, their names, and they begin to spell it for you? And the person name happened to be John. He was like, who can spell John? I ask you your name, John, and you begin to spell your name to me. And since I handed over my ID to the other person and the two other person over there talking about my head, I'm like, I was going to confront him and say, what is wrong with it? They don't want to scream their name to everybody else. And also, a lot of people ask them to, spell it out. So what would be the point? And sometimes the first names are, most of the people are carry like an English first name. So it's easy to like, some of them it's easy for you to spell it. If they don't have like a different way of spelling, most of them have a different way of spelling, even regular names. And some of them last names, it is different and then difficult to spell it. So I was gonna just say something to this young man, right? But inside me, I was a little upset. But I just looked at him and I keep walking. And the next day, or maybe like 2 days later, when I went there, that young man happened to be the one who have to attend to me. So as soon as I get there, in my head, I was gonna trying to like be like I'm all that, because I was like, I'm gonna tell him my first and last name when he asked, without me giving what we call my ID to see if he's gonna spell it, since he was boasting the other day, like 2 days ago. So as soon as he asked my name, I said Felicia, and then he asked my last name, like Felicia, he just go ba 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 and type it, and then my last name I say Nyano, and ba 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 he type it. You see how he put me to shame, because everything I planted, like if he happened to ask me how to spell it, I was going to be like, aren't you the one who was angry the other day because somebody, but he did it. This guy knows his way. He just, type it out. But as soon as he typed my first and last name, he looked at me. He's like, Auntie, is that you? And I'm like, what's your name? And then he's just showed me his ID. And then I call his name Michael. And I'm like, wait a minute. And his face looks familiar, right? So I'm like, wait a minute. And then he begins like, wait, church. And then he began to talk about some family members of mine. He said, are you the one? I said, yeah, I haven't seen you for ages. Like over 10 years, I haven't seen this kid. He's like, you don't remember me? And I said, I remember you. He's like, every time you pass by here, I tell the boy, he's like, I tell my boys, because, their age groups, they work there in the front desk. He's like, I tell my boys that I know you. I know this woman. She's my auntie. And then they were teasing me the other day that there's no way she could be your auntie, because every time she passed by, she doesn't even look at you. And then he was like, oh, no. I haven't seen her for a very long time. So I believe that she probably don't remember me, or maybe she's not looking. So he said that to his friends. But they was like, no, don't try to act like you know her, and they tease him and say, oh, you just trying to just show off that you know her, whatever. But then is a young man I know his mother, I know his father. They are like my church leaders. And I was like, where have you been? And then we get to talk about it and a little bit. So after I went upstairs to go visit the family member, as soon as I get there, I was talking to someone. I said, well, sometimes it's better that you are slow to get angry. Sometimes it's okay if somebody says something and you're upset. You don't say nothing. You just slow down. And then she was looking at me like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, remember days ago I came upstairs and said somebody pissed me off because the way they're talking behind somebody because of they handle their ID. You said, yeah. What happened? Did he do the same thing to you? And I said, no. Did you know that kid is my nephew? He is my nephew. Like, not far. He's my nephew. And this boy remember me. And he actually approached me today because he was the one that it took me in today, or like logged me into the main system. And I'm like, see, imagine that day, how so much annoyed that I was, the way they were talking behind someone. If I let my anger get best of me and I confront him and there was two other boys with him that day. Imagine if I leave, they're gonna tease him and say, "Aren't you the one says she's your auntie or she's your family member?" Imagine me be upset and talking to him anyhow, or just trying to just, put him in his place that you can't work on the hospital and talk, nonsense behind people. Imagine if I let my anger get the best of me and then confront this kid, not knowing that he always boasts on me. Like every time I went back, he tell his people or his friends that she's my auntie. They even teasing him that there's no way he related to me because I never even looked at him or say hello to him. I walk by and I apologize to him. Said that, "You know me, I will not see you and act like I don't know you." He said, "I know, auntie. I know, but they just, my boys don't believe." And I said, so I turned around and said, "You guys better believe he's my nephew." And they were laughing at me that, "Oh, because every time somebody cute passing by, he say related." And I said, no, this have nothing to do with it. This is my boy right here. I haven't seen him for a very long time. And I'm not going to go way back to just, try to snitch or something. But I remember when I saw him, it was like Sunday school. He was graduated from Sunday school to come the youth. So that it has been a long time that I haven't seen him. So in all, I brought this, even though it may not make sense to you, but in all, I just wanted to talk to you and say, be slow to get angry. Be slow to anger. Because sometimes if you let things get, the best of you, or you let things be annoying to you, sometimes you're going to say things that you're not supposed to say. And you have no idea how good and these people have said. It has been cold. Hey, I'm here in Worcester, Massachusetts, Boston area. And past last, like maybe 4 days, or let's say the whole last week. Today is a little bit better, but still I'm running nose because it's so cold, even though the sun's set. Today is February 3rd, 2025. Yes, we're in it. But it has been like, let's say maybe a couple weeks. It's been cold. It's been ridiculously cold. And a day, like somewhere last week, we have 2 hours delay for school. So I took my son to the bus station, and 2 hours, bus didn't come. It took almost 3 hours, the bus didn't come. And then I see some kid, they were crying. That little kid was crying. So I asked his father to take him to the office, because where we were standing is close to the office. And I'm one of the resident ambassador for, my place where I live. So the office, I go there all the time because I'm one of the workers there. So it was open because we got 2 hours delay, right? So we got to the bus station 9:47. Well, 9:40, because of 47 the car's supposed to come, and they didn't come. Even 10:30 we were still there. The bus didn't come until the bus didn't come until 10:35. So I remember I think when it was like after 10, the bus wasn't there yet. I called the school because the kids that were standing there, there were a lot. They all going to the same school, and I know that school. And then I work. I know, I'm not gonna say I work there, but I know a lot of people there because I have to. Even when they were the other side, I happen to work with them, and I'm not gonna disclose their school name because I'm, as a worker, you also have to protect the kids that you work with and stuff like that. So I called the front desk. I didn't say my name, mind you. I said, be patient, be slow to anger, because you don't know. Your voice alone, somebody know from afar. You understand? So I remember I called the school. I was upset because I have a little kid standing there. Somebody, like a guy, was holding his daughter, and this kid was crying, and I asked the father what happened, and he said she's cold. That day was very cold. The school should have just canceled, but they just did 2 hours delay, but it's so cold. The kid was freezing. I asked them to go to the office because the door is already open. And then I said, when the bus come, we let the bus driver wait and we come and get him because the kid needs to stay warm. And then some of the boys, they were just running around, just playing in the snow. But when I called the front desk, I was angry So I'm on my phone. I'm like, are we having a bus for the kids or not? And then the lady that picked up the call says, oh, it's coming, and the bus driver happened to pass by there, but he's new. So, and I'm like, what do you mean he knew? Didn't you give him the street? Did you know how cold it is that these children have been here more than an hour waiting? The moment I'm talking, and mind you, I didn't say my name. And then the lady was like, I'm so sorry, the bus will come. And I was like, how long they have to be here? The bus will come. Because I could drive to the school. But there were so many kids that my car only take 8 passengers. It's a Honda Parrot. It's already take 8 passengers. And I don't feel good of taking other kids and with me and not other kids. And mind you, I'm not gonna give my kid to take it to school with a random person. So even if I'm taking some of the kids that the parent there, for them to approve of it, they have to even sit in the car with them. You know what I mean? So it was too much to deal with. But then me going like, you know how cold it is, and how can a bus driver, did he have the direction? If he's new, did he use a GPS? Like, for me to that, the person on the other side on the talking to me was so calm. And he said, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, how long it will be there? And she's like, oh, maybe for a minute. And I was like, I hope it's 4 minutes, because somebody's kid is freezing and she's crying. And then the lady was like, Felicia, I'm so sorry. This will never repeat itself again. I'm sending the bus right away. I'm calling him right away. I will send him back there. And mind you, I didn't say my name. I did not say my name. I didn't even say my child's name for them to run it through the computer for them to know who, they're calling, or who is calling, or who parent is talking. I didn't do that. Only time I had to call my child name was like when I called the transportation, because when they run the kid name, they will know where to pick them, because I'm not going to give you the street. Other people's kids are there too for their safety reasons. And when you work with the kids in the school, you know how to cover them, because even for you to be able to volunteer or work with them in the school, or like take them or work in the system for the system to even to allow you to work with the school, they run a background check. They will do all that stuff, because you have to know. So me being part of that system, I know how it is, right? So I didn't say my child name. I didn't say my name. But the person, they were talking to me in the front desk of that school, and it's a private school, so I'm not going to say the name of that school. It's a private school. For the person just pick up the call, the whole time I'm ranting on the phone, she knows who I am. She said, Felicia, I'm so sorry. This won't happen. I'm calling right away for, I send them in and I will tell them right the location that they have to be. And I said, well, the kids are not going to cross the road, so they have to be where it needs to be. He says, I'm going to send them right there. You see? And as soon as that I hang the call, I was talking to one of the parents. I'm like, what happened to my voice? I can't hide me. So be slow for anger, because even though when I was calling the school, I was so angry because I was worried about the kids being freezing, and I was worried about being sick. Them being sick, because even a couple of days later, some of them didn't come, and then some of them, because part of the PTO, you had to check up on these moms and all that stuff, because it go beyond the just like a parent. We do a lot for one another. So me checking up on a few of them, some of the kids have a sore throat, fever, and they cough. They can't come to school because some of them got sick. So the whole point I'm trying to make to you, that calm down. Don't let them get you down there into their level, because they make you, they acting foolish and you angry about it. You understand? Because me calling this school, even though I work with them, but it's not a video call, even though I work with a school, but it's not like I say my name or I say the child that I'm calling on behalf of. But she recognized my voice, because she's one of the teachers that I work with in the other school before they merged into that school. And she knows me by my voice. She just called my name, said, Felicia, how are you, my dear? And then on the phone, for me to respond to it, I say, so I can't hide my voice anymore. She says, no, not from me, not from many of us. And I say, I'm good, how are you? And I say, I'm so angry, but you see how I wasn't even show you that I'm angry, but still you get to know. She said, I understand, you have to be angry. I know how you love these children, and you love even other people's children like your own. I know who you are, so I understand how you upset if you are upset. Bro, I'm sending the bus right away. I'm calling them to come. So I'm just saying, be slow to anger. And hey, before I go, I'm making a note. I wanted to come. Probably we'll do it like a 3 sessions. But let me give you a heads up. How many friends you have? Where are they from? Church, school, workplace, right? Your colleagues, right? What type of friend are they to you? The one you just say hello to, or the one you share your private life with, or you share your secret, or the one you talk like who are they? What type of friends they are to you? And you know why they are your friends? Have you ever sat down and said, Felicia is my friend, but why is she my friend? Why is she so nice to my face, behind me, or physically, or just physically she's nice? Spiritually, is she nice to me? Or why is she with me? Is she with me because she wanted to just get to the best side of me or my trust so that she can take a revenge? The same thing happened to David. The same thing happened to David. So who are your friends and why are they with you? They're with you because they are good people, or they're with you because they want to take a revenge for something that you don't know of, or something that you don't even remember that you have done wrong. Or maybe, just maybe, they're taking a revenge for the family or some kind of a family that they're from, or somebody that they know that you have done them wrong, or something bad have happened or transferred between you and that person, and they are with you because they want to take a revenge. The same thing happened to David. So who are your friends and why are they with you? This topic is very sensitive. The last time I talked about it was one-on-one with someone, I almost break down because my heart was so heavy for me to read the book of Samuel and go through the David story, and also go into the Psalms for David himself to pray about the Ahithophel, and remember how close they are as a friends, and all the things that they transfer between them. It was very emotional topic for me to talk about that person, but I wanted to come and talk to you about it because who are your friends and why are they with you? Have you ever considered to pray about that? Pray for them, pray about them, and pray with them. Have you ever asked God, who are these people? Father, are you the one who sent them? Or is my enemy who sent them? Are they with me because they're waiting for me to get to that place with them, just me and them being alone, and for them to dare me wrong? Are they waiting for me to get to that close to the valley with them so they can push me into the pit? And what are they with me for? Are they with me because what they're gaining from me? Are they with me because I'm so good and they easily for them to keep on taking? Or are they with me because they are good people? I want to leave you here with that friends. I will come and talk about it because I know it may not make sense right now, just like I'm throwing everything in. But I want to come and we will talk about it. And maybe, just maybe, we will get a different understanding why we're supposed to be cautious about friends and people around us. Did you know there are a lot of people in jail, a lot of people in trouble, a lot of people in trouble with the law? And because of the friends they keep, because somebody that they trust and call them a friend. Somebody marriage have broke down. Somebody have lost a husband. Somebody have lost a wife. Somebody have lost a family member. Somebody have lost themselves, even though they're still alive, but they have lost themselves. Somebody mentally ill because of friend. Who are your friend and why are they your friend? Have you ever considered to ask? I love you so much. The name still remains Felicia Nyano. Taking it easy, and whatever you do, do not give up because the better days ahead. As long that you are alive and you have the breath that you are taking, the blood is flowing through your vein. You have air flowing to your nostrils. You are able to walk and move. God is alive. Better days ahead of us. Keep positive, attitude, and keep the hope alive. Remember, your dreams won't chase you, so you have to chase your dreams. Before you give up, remember why you started. I didn't come here to preach you. I just came here so we can have a little bit talk. It's February 3rd, 2025. We are already here. I love you, but I believe deep down my heart, God loves you more. Take it easy. God be with you. And whatever you do, pay attention. Be cautious of your surrounding. Okay? Be cautious of your friends. And be vigilant. All right? I love you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.